Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us. I am going to click ahead to our introductions. My name is Glenna Madison. I am the branch manager at the Downtown Bremerton MLK branch. In my former life as a teen librarian, I was fondly nicknamed Star Donut by the third graders that I worked with. I'm going to let the rest of my team introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Tyler Caston. I'm the Adult Service Librarian at the MLK branch, and I am the Slug Blaster extraordinaire. Slug Blaster was a D&D game that I ran for adult patrons and has stuck with me since.
Hello, and I am Wayne Holder. I'm the Teen Services Librarian at the Port Orchard location. I chose Gremlin Wrangler. I imagine you can put two and two together on what the gremlins are.
We are here tonight to talk about Pink Prom and Beyond, our ongoing partnership with Kitsap Pride. As we'll dive into in this presentation, the library has worked with Kitsap Pride on a variety of different initiatives and endeavors. The one that we're going to focus on first of all is Pink Prom, but I wanted to start by giving everyone some background into what Pink Prom is, if you're not familiar. Pink Prom is a bespoke event modeled after high school prom, but it's specifically for LGBTQIA+ youth and allies. It's meant to be, to model the high school experience, but with an active sense of inclusivity as well with that. So it gives youth and teens an opportunity for belonging, an opportunity to celebrate and kind of create a shared memory and make a high school memory and tradition more actively inclusive. So for the last 2 years, Kitsap Pride's hosting of Pink Prom has taken place at the MLK branch here in downtown Bremerton. And I wanted to provide some background as to why the library may have been the site asked to host Pink Prom. From Kitsap Pride's side, we asked our partners, some of whom are here today, just in support, and they reflected to us that the library is a trusted and reliable space and community partner. We're known for our collaborations. We're known for having strong partnerships. We can show up with integrity and trust for both Kitsap Pride and for the community. And then on the library's side, I reflected back on our strategic plan as to why we may want to host an event like Pink Prom. And it reflects both our strategic plan's priority area of community and social connectedness and creating that for teens, and also a strategy that we're implementing in that strategic plan of fostering welcoming and belonging. So those are the reasons, some of the reasons why we would say yes to hosting this. Also, it is just fun. It's fun for teens. It's fun for our staff. This is the sort of event that it's really delightful to say yes to, knowing that it will create more community togetherness. So diving into the event itself, both in 2025 and this year in 2026, Pink Prom took place after hours at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. branch. The branch was almost unrecognizable in how it would look in the day-to-day. We pushed all of the shelving back in the kids area and made a dance floor. My librarians and my team created crafts and different activities for teens to take place in our community room. We had this beautiful balloon backdrop. I think this one was created almost single-handedly by one Jeannie Allen, who is here tonight. I think she blew up almost every single one of those balloons present, which took quite a bit of time. And that's just a portion of the decorations. The purpose is to create a beautiful and memorable, unique event. And so a lot of planning ahead of time went into it, a lot of prep the day of went into it to create a beautiful event. If the clicker, did I accidentally turn the clicker? Let's see. It's not going. There we go. And these are some of the pictures of the event itself, highlighting both the decorations and some of the activities we had for teens, including make your own crown. One activity that the teens really enjoyed was making buttons and bracelets reflecting their specific identity. We had pronoun pins, we had buttons with all the different identity flags, and teens had a lot of fun creating those together and getting to know each other. And so now I'm going to hand it over to Tyler.
The impact for this, I think, can be best summarized by a quote from one James Bray. Having KRL as a community partner is invaluable. Kitsap Pride relies on local organizations and public entities to partner with, ensuring there are known safe spaces for all members of our community. The libraries are trusted spaces, and it's great to be able to host events and cultivate community events. Last year, we had some last-minute changes to our Pink Prom location, and the team of the MLK branch stepped in to house our event. It's a huge success for young people to have a space where they can be as they are and celebrate. We look forward to working together to grow our outreach and bolster our already built programs. There's a lot of memories that I have from facilitating this. One that stands out to me the most when both years was watching teens who came in essentially as strangers. Maybe they've seen each other in the hallways at school, and overhearing conversations where they're like, "Oh, I've walked into you, I've never talked to you before. Do you want to like hang out? Do you want to be friends?" And for me, I think that's one of the most impactful things, is this building of community that wouldn't have otherwise necessarily have happened without having Pink Prom existing. Pink Prom also represents a place that queer teens can be their authentic self, where they can present themselves in the manner that they choose and be who they are in the space that they know won't judge them and that they know that they can be safe in. Thank you. So why does this matter? So finding community, or even finding places that you feel safe as a marginalized group, and one that has to maybe sometimes be stealth or not publicly be out, can be incredibly challenging, daunting, and terrifying. So hosting an event like this is important for so many reasons, more than I can list here tonight. But first and foremost, it helps build not only community for the teens, making friends and all of that, but helps build a real positive self-image, to have a place that they can feel safe to express themselves in, where who they are is able to be seen, encouraged, and validated. It lets teens know that the library is a safe space, that this is a place for them, that they are welcome here, and that the staff of the library are a trusted and valuable resource. This event also, as the quote from James Bray highlighted, supports the work and efforts of local community organizations, helps us build strong relationships with our community partners, and expands our ability to be a better knowledge resource as KRL by building a rapport with subject matter experts like those from Kitsap Pride.
Hello, so I get to talk about the future, so partnerships that evolve and grow over time. I benefited from all of my colleagues before in all of the work they did to form connections among community groups, in this case specifically Kitsap Pride. So within the evolution and growth that we're having, the time that we've put into it is necessary, and the continued working together and building new things. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting all choked up. Essentially, we've been able to do this because of all the help of all of the various people who work with us and people like James who work with Kitsap Pride and all the work they put into making an environment where kids feel safe and supported. Thanks. So much more of a fun slide. These have some fun photos of the various partnerships that we've created. For instance, Ways Goose Kitsap, so that happened on June 6th. It was a very rainy day, so a lot of my gremlins are in little raincoats and were drenched, but they still had a great time working together in a queer art space. So it was something where all the kids did not know one another at the beginning. They got to come together, much like was said before, necessarily weren't friends to begin with, and they had an environment where they could be themselves. They felt safe, seen, and supported. Additionally, we always have a presence at Kitsap Pride, so we host teen space. There's also kid space, and we have a general booth for adults as well. And then one of our newest additions that we're working towards is Teens Read with Pride, so it's a partnership book group between us and Kitsap Pride, where we just had our first meeting was this previous weekend, and they're already looking ahead to see what our next book will be and where it will be hosted.
And then I just want to highlight, we've been talking a lot about the quantitative, or the data without the numbers, but here are the actual numbers. So the last 2 years that we've hosted Pink Prom, we've had over 100 youth cumulatively who danced the night away at Pink Prom. You heard Wayne speak about Ways Goose Kitsap this year. That was actually our third iteration of partnering with Kitsap Pride to form a queer teen art team. Say that 5 times fast. To make 3 different art pieces that were built in community, that were created in community at the Ways Goose Kitsap Festival. So that's 3 art pieces made by 20 plus youth over 25 plus art meetup, participating in 3 years of the Ways Goose Kitsap Art Festival. And then we have 5 years ongoing of hosting a teen space at Kitsap Pride, engaging with approximately 400 plus teens every year. And so that data speaks for itself. It's been really remarkable and impactful, and these are the sort of impacts that we may not have envisioned when we first started these programs, but now we can see kind of big scope, the impact of that. Like Wayne said, all the work we do is a team sport, and we're really lucky to work together in partnership and with others within our organizations. We would not be here without the support and the work of our team at MLK, the team at Port Orchard. Kayla O'Connor stepped up to support Pink Prom this year, and all the teen librarians. The communications team is instrumental in creating nearly every graphic that you've seen on this presentation today and supporting our programs. Jeannie Allen and Shannon Peterson were the first ones to make the warm handoff to us from Kitsap Pride and with Ways Goose and many of these partners, and so that the work of our directors and kind of forming those relationships and handing them on is so valuable. And then we also just want to thank the Kitsap Pride team, especially James Bray and Nicole Reed, for working with us and for ideating together. And then to end, I want to close on something that has small actions but large impacts that we may not necessarily see when we start. The image on the left is a rabbit in a moon that was carved by a teen, created and carved by a teen named Odessa Cook. She made that as part of a Ways Goose Kitsap piece that was made at the library in partnership with Kitsap Pride in 2023. The next year, a teen named Kat Barrett included that same rabbit moon in our Ways Goose piece that was also in partnership with Kitsap Pride. And then the following year, a teen named Evelyn Hitchcock insisted that the piece be included in the Ways Goose piece. All of these pieces, they're very small. I'm sorry about that. All of these pieces were created at the library. 3 of them were created in partnership with Kitsap Pride. They all have the rabbit moon, and you may recognize it because it is quite similar to our summer learning mascot now, and it was this feature of a teen program was considered when the communications team was creating their summer learning mascot. And so what we saw, boots on the ground, was teens having an amazing time, but then years down the road, it turns into something that's amazing and can be enjoyed by the whole community. And I just think that's really magical. That's all we have for you. Thank you so much, but we are open to questions.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to board members. Do you have any questions first?
You said it was 2 years that you've had Pink Prom, which is awesome. And one of the things you talked about was folks were, the teenagers, like, oh, I didn't know who you were, and I saw you in the halls. Is there any ideas that you have to get the teens to engage with each other earlier in the year to build those relationships?
You know, that's a good question. I'm going to hand it off to either our teen librarian or our adult librarian. I think they'd be better.
Especially after doing Ways Goose, the teens all hang out together now. We also do Teen Space, which is a recurring program which offers a safe space where kids can hang out. And additionally, where we were talking about our partnerships growing and changing, we're hoping to build more things with Kitsap Pride in the future where there are opportunities similar to events, say, like Coffee and Pride, which is an adult like gathering where they get coffee and hang out. Similar things, but maybe geared more young, like teenagers.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you. And this demonstration is a beautiful collaboration, and the word collaboration and those opportunities to work together and partner on things is one of the primary reasons I decided to volunteer as a board member. So I love seeing this, and thank you for all your hard work and success.